انهض للثورة والثار،
انهض للثورة والثار،
انهض كهبوب الإعصار،
انهض كهبوب الإعصار،
وارجم أعداءك بالنار،
وارجم أعداءك بالنار،
واهتف بالصوت الهدار،
واهتف بالصوت الهدار.
الثورة
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 الثورة نهج الأحرار،
الثورة نهج الأحرار.
من غزة من قدس العرب،
من غزة من قدس العرب،
من أسر النقمة والتعب،
من أسر النقمة والتعب،
اخرج كالريح ولا تهبي،
اخرج كالريح ولا تهبي،
يا جيل النخوة والغضب،
يا جيل النخوة والغضب.
وتدفق
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 وتدفق نهرا من لهب،
وتدفق نهرا من لهب.
Palestine! 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 Palestine!
1, 2, 3, 4!
Occupation no more!
In the land of olive trees, from the rivers, from the river to the sea, people taste the land.
1, 2, 3, go.
Had a dream in the land of olive trees, from the river to the sea, people tasted freedom, see those hellish skies turn to blue and starry nights as our voices start to rise.
fight back.
You're supporting genocide! Oh, McDonald, you can't take!
You're supporting genocide.
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 Oh, McDonald, you can't take!
You're supporting genocide. You supported 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 genocide.
Palestine will be free.
Marks and Spencer, you can't take!
You supported genocide.
Marks and Spencer, you can't take!
You supported genocide.
Marks and Spencer, you can't take!
You supported genocide.
Marks and Spencer, you can't take!
You supported genocide.
Marks and Spencer, you can't take!
You supported genocide.
Keep moving on now. On round, there's plenty of space here. Still lots of people to come.
أنا داير الظلم يا شباب.
And we must continue this call. Today we would also like to send solidarity to the Taoiseach O'Brien and all victims of gender-based violence. All of these oppressive systems are connected, and there is no room in our societies or in our country or in our community for misogyny, no room for homophobia, no room for transphobia, no room for racism or hate in any way. There's especially no room for sectarianism, for prejudice, or for complicity in genocide. As we're watching the barbaric genocide take place through our screens and seeing the complicity of governments across the world, it's so easy to fall into hopelessness. We've all felt it. But coming together week after week reminds us that there is so much more love in this world than there is hate. And love will always win this. Always. And make no mistake, no matter how the right-wing media try to play this is a movement of love, a movement for peace, and a movement for justice. And this is not a movement that's going anywhere. We will be here until Palestine sees justice. In this moment, an echo is occurring across the globe. All of us who value love, peace and equality are rising up. Whether you've been doing this work for years or this is your first protest, you're all very welcome here to Fáilte All War Over Fad. Every single voice matters in our scream for peace and justice. May the good fight continue, and may we continue to expand this circle and welcome new people into it. So we have 4 speakers today, and our first speaker is the absolute powerhouse that is Wafa Abu Shar, Turkey Culture World.
My name is Wafa Abu Shar. I'm from West Bank, but when I married, I traveled to Gaza because my husband lives in Gaza. I live in Gaza 20 years, and I had 3 experiences war. Until now, 75 of my husband's family butchered. And the others, they leave Rafah, and we didn't know where they are. Everyone in the different place. Sisters and brothers in struggle. The Palestinian people have been subjected and presented genocidal war, never known in old or modern history. This war has many dimensions: Palestinocide, ethnocide, sociocide, Arabocide, politicide, memoricide, ecocide, combined with military war, propaganda war, political war, economical war, in addition to the crimes against humanity, which are ethnic cleansing, collective punishment, and apartheid, but one of the most brutal and nasty is the starvation. As we are meeting here, a televised genocide never known in the history of mankind is being committed by, who wrote it, my husband, Dr. Asad Abu Shar here. The title, غزة. أنام كيف أنام يا غزة؟ أنام أبحث عن صدى وطني، غزة التي سكنت دمي وتسكنني. غزة أيا غزة، أحن إليك من فخر ومن طوق ومن شوق ومن عزة. فإسحاق وجانت وجلنت ورابين وديان وبارز وباراك وشارون ومائير وبن جفير وبن جريون وبن سمير إلى باجن نتنياهو وإلياهو ومنتاهو وغيرهم وجمعهم وكلهم صهاينة وأغراب وأشباح من الماضي، وكل ساعة راهن وكل جرائم الآتي. أيا غزة أيا غزة، أرادوا وجدوك مذبحة مقطعة ونازفة وغارقة ببحر الموت.
It's day 267 of the genocide in Gaza. I'm Omar, and I'm from Gaza, with my people being slaughtered live as I'm talking to you right now. At least 37,858,000 people have been killed by Israel, and 86,834 have been wounded by the Israeli bombardment on Gaza since October, with more than 11,000 are missing under the rubble. Israel has continued to bomb Rafah, Al-Shija'iyya, Al-Nusayrat, Al-Shati camp, and the rest of Gaza with new massacres, killing, the latest killing 11 civilians, mostly women and children. Yesterday, Israeli forces targeted the civil defense crew while they were at the workplace in a Nusayrat camp in the central Gaza Strip, killing 3 of them and wounding others. These are the crew who are supposed to save the women and children from under the rubble. They are killing the crew who are saving the children. That's how bad it becomes. Israel continues to deliberately, and you need to put 1,000 line below this, deliberately bomb UN-run shelters, centers killing displaced people inside, as part of the ongoing crime of genocide. It has been committing since October the 7th. Israel has implemented a systemic policy of targeting civilians of the Gaza Strip who are protected by the international humanitarian law. This includes intensifying the bombing of the shelter centers over the heads of the displaced people inside, as well as targeting areas designated as humanitarian zones. The Palestinians were told by the Israeli forces, by the Israeli army, to evacuate to the so-called safe humanitarian service areas, and then bomb them in the tents that they were in. This horrific attack
عشان تلبس باللون الاسود والاحسن.
It's Mr. Leela. It's Gail Oakmay, or College Firsta. My name is Leela and I am a young Belfast Gael. I've been marching the streets of Belfast in support of Gaza every week now since October. I've been sickened by the slaughter and dehumanisation of Palestinians by the illegal Israeli state, and I'm calling for an immediate ceasefire and an end to the apartheid Palestine. My message today is for the young people. I wish that there were more young people marching in the streets each week, and I'm calling on more young people to join us in our actions. The fight against genocide in Gaza needs us all with our feet out on the street. More young people protesting and boycotting and standing up for what's right. Stop taking pics of your drinks in Starbucks and sharing pictures of your new Zara outfits. Stop giving your money to these genocidal companies and start sharing what's happening in Palestine. Show the world through your social media that you stand for justice and freedom. Join the global boycott of Israeli goods. You'll see that it's all connected. Capitalism, colonialism, imperialism, racism and fascism. And it controls us all, but we have the power. We need to take back our power and hit them where it hurts, and not give any company that supports the funding of genocide a single penny. I'm calling for more direct actions here in Belfast. Look at the student movement in England and the US. Where are the radical youth here in Belfast and Ireland? We need to be doing more. We've seen the fear that governments have in the mobilisation of young people against the establishment because they know how powerful a youth movement can be. I'm calling on all you young people like me to organise, to mobilise and to escalate. Palestine needs us. The world needs us, and when we stand together for what's right, we can make a change in the world. To finish with a quote by Fidel Castro, when people carry the same ideals in their hearts, nothing can keep them isolated. Neither the walls of prisons, nor the soot of cemeteries. For a single memory, a single spirit, a single idea, a single conscience, a single dignity will sustain them all. Free Palestine.
And Kate Coucher Ellen, so our next speaker is speaking on behalf of Mags, and it's Myri Gona. Hergy Falter or Require.
Diadeva Karja, August Mara Haba. My name is Myra and I'm a secondary school teacher and a mother of 5. I'm very proud and saddened to be standing here with you today in solidarity with the Palestinian people. I stand with all of you here who are unafraid and determined to rise up against injustice, tyranny and oppression. We know that nearly 50% of the population of Gaza alone are children. All children of the world have a right to protection, have the right to feel safe, have a right to childhood. This is true of Irish children, of Palestinian children, children from Yemen, from Sudan, and children from the Congo. And it is our duty as adults to make this a reality for the young generation. My heart for a great part of my life has lay with the plight of the Palestinian people, whose humility, kindness and strength has always shone through in adversity. In 2016, in order to help in some smaller, meagre way, I directed my sister Rosie in the play My Name is Rachel Corrie as part of the West Belfast Festival, and we sent the proceeds to Palestine. Still feeling helpless again in 2022, we put the play on again and we sent the proceeds to Palestine. Reading Rachel's diaries, she spoke and wrote fondly of the Palestinians' hospitality. These were people who had nothing and they shared everything they had with her. And it really resonated with her that these children were born into a world that wasn't normal. And she knew that the world was different, but she knew these children didn't know any difference. They didn't know that children in other parts of the world were living a normal childhood. it was a million miles away from the childhood of the children of Palestine. Rachel was 23 when she was killed in Rafah by an Israeli bulldozer made by Caterpillar while she was defending the home of a doctor. As a teacher, you want the best for your students. You want them to fulfill their dreams. Many kids are oblivious to what's going on and they're wrapped up in their own wee world, but that's how it's supposed to be. They're navigating their way through childhood and adolescence, and I'm happy for them because they don't know the horrors like we know them. But that being said, there are many children out there who know and care and protest, more so than many adults who are pleading ignorance to what's happening. When their children ask them what they did when the Palestinian people were being ethnically cleansed, they'll tell their children they spoke up, they boycotted, they marched, they did all they could to stand in solidarity with their Palestinian brothers and sisters. I look at my firstborn son. He's 14 years old and he's about to embark on his GCSE years. He's mad about training and about football, but he's a proper wee gentleman. And I wonder, what would I do as his mother, as his caregiver, as his protector, if soldiers came and took him from me, brought him to jail, not telling me where he was, beat him, starved him, interrogated him, humiliated him, tortured him. No responsible adult present, no legal representation, and then tried him in a military court and imposed a 20-year prison sentence on him for throwing stones. What would I do? What would I do if somebody did that to my son? What do these Palestinian mothers and fathers do when it's happening to their children daily? It is not the world that these parents dreamed up for their children, because I know it certainly isn't the world that I dreamed for my children. I look at my second-born son. He's 12 years old, and he loves to learn new things. To date, he's tried rapping, he's tried being a Rubik's Cuber, a skateboarder, tried a bit of busking. He's great with music, and he's got a wonderful musical ear. And he's big into his fashion at the minute, and I look at him, and I wonder. And he's a great Gaelic speaker, always speaking to me in Irish, and he loves playing with his friends. And I look at him, and I wonder, at 8 years old, could he go digging with his bare hands in the rubble, looking for his brothers and sisters, digging out, maybe in a horrible circumstance, what remains of them? Could my 8-year-old son do that? Is that the world that I dreamed that my child is growing up in? It's not the world that these Palestinian mothers dream for their children. And I look at my fourth-born son, who's 6 years old, and he still has a wee babyish voice. He loves to snuggle me, and he loves me reading stories to him at night time. And when I look into his eyes, I think of a 6-year-old girl trying to flee with her family in a car. All members of her family killed around her, murdered. And I listened to his babyish voice for 3 hours on the phone, begging her mother to come and rescue her. And her rescuers slain around her. Her mother waited 12 days to discover her fate. We know now that 355 bullets were fired into that car with her beautiful daughter, her beautiful wee face, was trapped in. That was not the world that her mother dreamed for her, for it's certainly not the world that we dream for our children. Scum! with my fifth-born child, my 1-year-old daughter, who is a dream come true in every possible sense of the word. And I'm her word and she's mine. And when I watch her sleep, images of starving babies, babies in incubators that are switched off, babies burned beyond words, flash before my mind. And I think of all those Palestinian mothers bringing babies into this world with no medical care, into a barbaric genocide, and my heart breaks for them. So what will I do? What can I do? Well, tonight I will hug my children tighter, and I'll keep talking about Palestine, and I'll keep marching, and I'll put the play on again this summer. I won't stop. And when them politicians dare to tell us it's too complicated for us to understand, we stand up and we shout back at them. It's not complicated. Stop killing babies. Stop killing children. Stop killing innocent men and women and children. It's not complicated. And when you ask yourself, what can little old me do? Well, I'll say this to you. Keep educating yourself. Keep reading. Keep watching documentaries. Talk to people with direct experience. Keep marching. Keep boycotting. Don't stop. Our Palestinian brothers and sisters and all the children of Palestine need us now more than ever. So please, don't stop. Don't give up on them. Never stop until Palestine is free.
Thank you so much, Myra. Thank you. It's Osama Suman. Big Billy bus for Osama.
Thank you for having us. And I will put it in a nutshell. Some people may ask, what is the relation between the war in Sudan and the Palestinian cause? And some might ask even, where is bloody Sudan is? So it is. But I will put it like that. The war in Sudan stopped a process of democratic revolution which was aimed to stable, civil, governed Sudan that might affect the whole Horn of Africa region and the Middle East. Right now, the two warring parties, the Sudanese Armed Forces and SAF, which is a paramilitary group, all they have established military security relationship with the state of Israel. Sudan never ever had a normalization relationship with Israel, and this military junta established it. The Mossad is in Sudan, the Mossad had work in Sudan, and plus that, and moreover, we're having the head of the CIA in Africa in Sudan. Sudan military troops are a part of the Afro-American Joint Forces, which is the functioning as a proxy agent for the U.S. imperialism in Africa and so forth. Sudan military forces and the RSF, they are both now defending the Gulf oil state in Yemen. Stopping the war in Sudan, which means is withdrawing the Sudanese troops from Yemen, withdrawing the Sudan state from any defense and security agreement with the United States or the state of Israel, and kicking out the normalization agreements with the state of Israel. That's why we say all wars in this planet right now is all imperial wars connected to one corner. This is the thing. So let's all together stand hand by hand against all war all over, and to extend our solidarity to our brothers and sisters in Gaza right now. And we're here,